All right, my name is Nico Johnson. We are live once again here at RE Plus in Las Vegas at the world-class solar panel magic manufacturer, REC. Many of you have told me how you love the Alpha series and you are huge REC fans, so I wanted to come and get it from the man himself, Mr. Shankar Sridhara, the CTO of REC. Exactly what is it that makes REC so special? Shankar, it's great to have you on the show.
Great to meet you also, Nico. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Shankar, you guys are showcasing, as always, a lot of new things here at the show. Could you give us an overview of some of the highlights that you want folks to know about what REC is bringing to market post the RE Plus show?
So, as you know, REC has been one of the innovative companies in the industry. And over the years, we've brought a lot of new products into the market. So this year, we're bringing a new product called Alpha Pure RX. It's a 470 watt, 226 watt per square meter product for residential segment. We also have an upgrade to our previous product, the Alpha Pure, where we are launching Alpha Pure 2, where we've increased the wafer size just a bit to be able to reach 430 watts. And then we have our racehorse from the last year, Alpha Pure R, also here.
That is a lot to digest. You guys have first introduced your Alpha series back in 2019, and it was an instant hit. As Carrie likes to say, the best solar module in the residential industry. So the thing that's on my mind is conversations I've been having with folks about the end of PERC, right? Everyone knows, and there's a foregone conclusion, PERC's days are numbered. What's going to replace PERC, many say, is TOPCon. But I'd love to hear REC's perspective on the evolution of the industry beyond the PERC module.
So if you think about it, if you had tens and tens of gigawatts of PERC, what's the natural thing for you to do? You wouldn't want to throw away those lines. So the natural step in such a case is TOPCon. But REC has always been nimble on its feet. And while we were one of the first to launch multi-PERC, we were one of the first to launch half-cut TOPCon cells, we also found a way to move to heterojunction straight away. And when we look at the industry is a little bit behind us. They're following the traditional path of PERC, upgrading to TOPCon. But I think at the end of the day, the highest efficiency records are all with heterojunction. The LONGi records, all of them are with heterojunction, and that's the natural progression for the industry in the future. So REC is just a bit ahead of its time.
Ahead of its time, as usual, leading the pack. One of the things that many folks know about the Alpha product is that it is one of the leading residential solar modules in the world, and that REC was first in many ways to introduce the technology underlying Alpha that gets you more efficiency and, frankly, more watts per square foot on the roof. But that technology is evolving. I'd love to hear how the new product, the Alpha Pure RX series, is going to take it to the next level.
So it's a change in direction that REC decided a couple of years ago. When we launched the Alpha series, we had the largest wafer in the market with M4+. Then we saw M6 come in, and over the last couple of years, we've seen M10. So there's been a lot of churn in the market with different wafer sizes. So rather than play this game, REC took a bold decision to one shot jump to G12. And that's the largest market in the industry. It's also synergetic with the semiconductor industry. And the main challenge with that is that a large wafer generates a lot of current. And so we found a way to rebuild the module from the ground up and develop it so that we harnessed the current one more time. It's down to 9 amperes. And when we designed it, we kept it flexible so that we could have the next generation product. And what we're going to launch today is the next generation of the Pure R, which is the RX, which further increases the power density to 22.6 and power to 470 watts.
470 watts. Would that be peerless in the industry? Are there others who are getting to that level? I mean, I'm not familiar with Resi modules at 470.
So what we see in the market today are a maximum of 440 watts. There's announcements of 450, but we haven't seen them come out in the market yet. So REC at the moment has an easy 20-watt lead over its competitors for this kind of a form factor.
Well, clearly it takes a deep commitment to R&D. REC is often out ahead of the pack in that regard. What could you tell me about the future of REC's products as you evolve? Clearly, each one of your product lines evolves and you're trying to stay ahead of not just the market, but your customers' expectations. Talk to me a little bit about the R&D that you have and what it means for the future of our planet.
So if you look at the cell technology, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is you take a wafer, you passivate both sides, you put in the doped layers or layers that will help with the current transport, and you connect the metal. So the best way, the ideal way to do this is with a heterojunction structure. You have the best passivation of the surfaces, you have the best transport mechanism, and so this is a natural evolution for all the cell technologies. Now what comes after this? If you look at a heterojunction cell, the top layer of the cell is a conductive layer, which makes it easy to put a second layer on top. And so if you think about two solar cells connected together so that you're capturing a wider part of the solar spectrum, that's the golden goal the whole industry is working towards. And one of the materials that you may hear very commonly spoken about is perovskites. And so heterojunction cells are the ideal base cell for a perovskite top cell. And the combination of these days, if you look at the press, all the world records of 33% have a heterojunction cell at the bottom.
Yeah.
So this is part of our R&D roadmap. This is the reason that we switched to heterojunction technology. And from a perspective of what is good for the environment, good for the industry, a low temperature process, yielding high efficiency, able to work with very thin wafers, I can't think of a more ideal solution.
You know, one thing that stands out to me is REC's clear commitment to the sustainability of the process of developing new products. Not just trying to go bigger and better, but in the process trying to reduce the overall carbon footprint. I think it's laudable and it's exciting to see the expansive product line that you all have now and what it means ultimately for homeowners and our planet as we continue to bring more and more homes into the solar revolution. Shankar, thank you so much for taking time to join us here live.
Thank you so much, Nico.